Matt, congratulations. How do you reflect on an opening game win?
Well, I've been speaking about a roller coaster all summer, and I think we got that in one game. So I don't know if my heart can withstand it. But look, if you'd have given me a 2-1 win this morning, I'd have taken it. Obviously, the circumstances were a different one. I thought first half played some really good stuff. I think the lads got stuck in a little bit of a rut second half when we come out playing at not a tempo that I'd really liked. I thought we were a bit lackadaisical on the ball, and I thought that told. But again, we're a work in progress. I keep saying it. If I'd have lost that one, which obviously we didn't, and I'm really pleased that, I'd be saying exactly the same things. There's a hell of a lot to work with this group, and we've got a long way to go.
In a weird way, is it a tough thing to be in 2-0 up and with a man advantage at half time? Because you know they're going to be sort of revved up to come out for it. And you've also probably thinking, well, we're almost there now at half time.
No, I'll take that every week, Rob. I'm going to be honest. However, I think his mindset's got to be better. That's the thing. We need to kind of get better at. I thought there were times where we could have put the ball in the box, and times we could have ended with something, and we didn't. Took an extra pass, and that isn't kind of the things that we've been working on pre-season. However, I've just spoke to them in there about the DNA of this football club, about backs to your walls. We're going to be against it sometimes. I appreciate that. That were a little bit longer than I would anticipate, and I didn't like some of it second half, but the lads stood up to it. As you saw at the end, even though it's first game of the season, bodies everywhere. So obviously we've got to look at that in terms of our fitness levels and getting better. But I think this group will improve as we move along. I was really pleased with the first half, as I'm sure the fans were, and then we got a bit of a sticker twist situation, which we have to be better at.
What did you make of your 2 goals?
Really good, obviously a set piece, which I'm all over, so we worked on that in the week about getting a block at the back post, and the bits about the wide centre half stepping in and Sam pulling off on that back shoulder. So well worked, crafted kind of off the training ground goals, which we're really pleased with. And look, to go 2-0 up, the stadium felt like it did towards the back end of last season, and even when they got the goal, I could hear people keeping with the team, which is going to be crucial. I've said that all along. Obviously you get the odd moan and groan, but I think our moaning and groan at the side of the pitch. So like I've said, this club is built on everybody being in it together, from the fans to us to the board of directors, and we have to make sure that stays the case.
I wanted to ask you about the your team's red card. How frustrated are you that you're taking a yellow in 7 minutes before half time for time wasting like that, and it's ended up potentially costing you nearly?
Yeah, I weren't very happy about it. I don't know what we're trying to play at, so we'll look at that. But that ain't even something we've done all week. So we were having huge success with that squeeze up and hitting Jordan. So I don't know why we started. But again, I think that's the little bit of naivety, and it's 2 experienced players, so I wouldn't expect that to happen. So look, like I've just said, there's loads of areas we can improve. That is one of them. But there are a lot of other things in there, and you're right, it's caused probably more angst than it was. However, I thought that when it went 10 on 10, we were probably a little bit better, arguably, which shouldn't matter, so shouldn't happen, and I think that's the area that we need to improve on.
What's going through your head when they get that chance at the end? I think he hit the bar in the end.
Yeah, he hit the bar, yeah. To be honest, I just thought the goal were coming, I hate to say it, because it just felt like we were sat in his own box a little bit too much. I thought we should have got up a little bit higher, but in our defence, we're throwing lads on who've had Keanu Tete's coming, who's not even had a day's training with us. He arrived last night. Obviously, our Johnny Martha's been here like 2 days. Denzel Hall's not been here very long. So it's a new group, and I'm throwing Benno on. I know he's had pre-season with us, and Drew, but it's still not the same as when as John Breckin says, the real bull comes in, and it come in today, and we've dealt with it fairly well.
It's a big thing though, isn't it, to get up and running first day of the season, get that first win?
Yeah, as I've said, look, I'm probably stood here a little bit disappointed, but there'll be a lot of managers stood here today saying I'd have loved 3 points, so I can't sit here every time we get 3 points and moan about it. I won't do it, but there's a lot to improve upon. I think we all know that. I think the fans know that, but like I say, I'd swap with a lot of managers today. I'm sure they'd want my 3 points.
Final question about the new signing you mentioned there, Tete. First chance to talk to you about him. What is he going to add to the squad?
Well, he run around a lot today, didn't he? He went up front as a centre back, if I'm going to be honest. But look, he's a big physical presence. I think he'll be good in the 2. He works hard. He scores goals. He's probably not up to speed. Obviously, match minutes is missing, so I think you saw a little bit of that rustiness when he come on. But we'll work really hard with him. We've had a good history over the years with strikers coming in who are a bit of a crossroads. Keane's probably at a bit of a crossroads, if I'm going to be brutally honest, and he won't mind me saying that. So it's going to be down to him now to earn his place. We've got two good strikers in Hugo and Nombe. Obviously, Nombe got a couple of goals today, so we're going to have competition, but that's what I want in the squad.